Hey guys, how you doing? This is the Samba Pa Ti that a lot of you have requested. I haven't done a video lesson for a while, so I've got a bit of time. This is going to take some time as well, so maybe it's in more than one video, but we'll sort it out in the video responses or whatever. So it's the Samba Pa Ti. There's a lot of sections that are the same, so I won't be telling you the exact notes. I'll just be saying that's the same riff as what we played before or whatever. But we'll get there, we'll get through it. Bear with me because there is a lot of parts, and when I'm not playing it fluently, I sometimes lose where I am. So we'll get there eventually though. And I'll just flip that round. You're just looking in the mirror at the minute, just so I know what part of the guitar I'm showing you. So here we have it. We've got the 5th and the 7th, and the first riff. That's the 7 of the D, 4, 5, 7 of the G, 4 to 5 on the B, slide, 8th of the B, 5 to 7 of the G. What I'd do, because I'm going to be flying through this, is tab it out as I'm saying the notes. So it saves you rewinding it, and then you've got a tab there in front of you, as well as watching the video back again. So that's the first bit. That was G, palm muted, open. B string open, hammer on the 3rd fret. 1st to 2nd on the high E. And then play that again. And then play it again, hammer on 3, pull off. And then play the B string, 3rd fret. Hopefully you've got that. And then we play that first riff again. And this is kind of the similar. But we'll leave it at that. You don't do any of the pull off stuff. Then we're back to the 5th fret. So that's 5, hammer on 7 on the high E. 5, hammer on 7, pull off back to 5 on the high E. 8th fret of the B, pull off to 5. Just one time that was. And then we do the unison bends. So it's the 5th fret of the high E and the 8th fret of the B, but bend up to the same note. Obviously playing together, that's a unison bend. Slide that shape down 2 frets, so we're on the 7 of the high E and the 10 of the B, and bend that. So. That's the next part. So it's 5, hammer on 7 on the high E, hammer on and pull off. So that's the same as before, but without the unison bend. And then we just do the 8th fret of the B, bend up, pull off to 5, play 5 again on the B, and then a little pause, but then you hammer on and pull off. Hammer on and pull off, that's obviously between the 7 and 5. And then play the 7th fret of the G. So to save any confusion, I'll just play those 2 parts again. That's where we've got to. It's kind of hard to keep that sounding. It depends when I'm not playing it properly. So that's 5 on the B, and then we play 7, 5, 4 pull-offs on the G. I'll just make it sound, and then hammer on back to 7, hammer on 5 back to 7, all on the G. So it sounds. Back to 5th of the B, and then 7 on the D. It's awkward, you'll get there. So that's that little bit. That's 4 of the G, 3 of the B, slide from 4 to 5 on the B, play 7 on the B, 7 on the G, I think. Yep. I've lost where I am, I do apologise. There we are. So it's 5, hammer on 7, hammer on and pull off, 5, 7, 5 on the high E, play 5 again. B, 8 fret, 8 fret twice, pull off to 5, back to the 8th fret of the B, and then do a unison bend, high of the 5, 8 of the B. So let's play that again. There we are, no messing. So we've got that, that's the first verse if you like, and we're already on 7 minutes. The next part is it's very similar, so we play this riff again. But instead of playing, we play 4th fret of the G, 3rd fret of the B. Instead of the G open, it's 4th of the B. Then 4th of the G, then 3rd of the B. And then do the same. But this time, the 3rd fret of the B, where you'd normally land on, we pull off. And then you play the high E, the B and the G or whatever all open. Yeah, so to get that sounding right. Yep, got that. Hey, look at the shadow. Rock on. Anyway, sorry about that if it's putting you off. But that's that little part, and then we go back to that riff again. Then this is the same as the first time, although we're playing 4 on the G, 3 of the B. And it's just like that. I'm sure you know those notes. If not, go right back to the beginning of the video and there they are. And then it's the little riff, remove the cam. So that's a rake roughly around the 12th fret, G, B, E. Bend up the 15th fret of the B, release, pull off to the 12th fret, do the same on the 14 of the G, pull off to 12, and then land on the 14th of the D. To put it into context, and then it goes straight back into that. Same as the first verse. Hopefully you get that. I do apologise, you might have to be rewinding this, but like I said, if you tabbed it out, then it's easy to refer back to rather than losing where you are on the video. Hopefully you're following me. I'm trying to teach it methodically. And then we go back to this little riff. And this is where it changes. It's just that instead of being, it's this part. I've even lost myself now. I'm talking too much. It's your fault. Here we are. There we go, we're back. D string, 7th fret. That's the 4th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G twice. Back to the 4th fret of the G. And then 4th fret to the 5th on the B. That's 7, 4, 7 of the G. And then we go back to the same as the ending of before. And then there we'd normally go into another verse, but obviously it doesn't. As you're fully aware, you know the song. So you finish on the unison bend, and then actually it's difficult to hear in the record, but it goes down to the 10th fret of the B. It does a bend, and then brings the volume in. You don't really hear that. It's there. That's what it does. And then this is where we start picking up the beat a bit. How many minutes we on? Let me check. Oh, nearly there. Anyway, we'll do this little bit. That's the 8th fret of the B. 3 times, and then 10th fret of the B. 7th fret of the high E. Leave on the 7th fret of the high E and the 10th fret of the B, do a unison bend. Then we shift that shape down 3 frets. So we're on the high E of the 10th fret, the B of the 13th fret, bend that. Move that down 2 more frets. So we're on the 12th and the 15th. That's the high E. Ah, shit. So it's 5 hammer on 7 on the high E. That's it. 5 hammer on 7 on the high E. 5 hammer on 7 and pull off. 8 of the B, 7 of the B, back to 8 of the B. I'm sure you saw that I missed a note out there. So it's 8, 7, 7, 8. Back to the 5th fret of the high E. Right, we'll leave it there. I'm losing myself, but hopefully that's a good start to the tutorial. If not, we'll get there eventually. Anyway guys, see you in the next video.